Today, we are tackling a big question. Should you invest in your own photo studio, or is renting a smarter move? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what is right for you. What's up, Charlie? This is Ghanaian Photography, where I talk about all things photography, gear, tips, and the business side of photography. When you're serious about photography, at some point you find yourself asking, do I need a photo studio? Should I just be renting studios? It's a big decision, financially and creatively. Let's go through the pros and cons for both owning and renting a photo studio so you can make an informed choice. Let's tackle owning your own photo studio space first. Owning your own photo studio space gives you the freedom to create. You can set your photo studio up how you like it, customize the lighting, backdrops, and workflow. Plus, it's always available whenever you're inspired to make changes. The next thing is cost efficiency in the long term. It's true, the upfront cost of setting up your own photo studio is high, but over time, it could save you money if you're doing a lot of photo shoots. The next thing is professional branding. Most clients see a dedicated photo studio as a sign of professionalism. It adds credibility to your brand. You mentioned to certain clients that you need to rent a studio, and automatically, you've lost the gig. Let me know in the comment section if you've gone through such an experience. The next thing is passive income potential. You could rent it out when you're not using it and create another revenue stream. Personally, I do rent out my studio space to some photographers, not all, some photographers sometimes, so I can make some little money whilst helping them as well. But I'll admit, owning a photo studio isn't all sunshine and rainbows. There are some drawbacks too. First of all, high initial investment. The initial cost of setting up a photo studio is really high. We are talking rents, utility bills, insurance, equipment costs, and the list goes on and on. Talk about maintenance. Since the photo studio belongs to you, you'll be responsible for everything in there, from keeping the space clean to fixing broken gear and backdrops. It's all on you. The next thing is commitment. If you are not getting gigs regularly, your photo studio might feel like a wasted investment. Let's face it, if you're not shooting regularly and you have a personal space, that space becomes like a white elephant. Now let's look at why renting a photo studio might be a smarter move for some photographers. Let's talk about flexibility. You're not tied to one photo studio. You need a different vibe. You rent a studio with the aesthetic you want. Secondly, we look at lower costs, no monthly bills. You only pay for the time spent for specific photo shoots. The next thing is access to high-end gear. Many rental studios come with professional lighting, backdrops, and props. You may not be able to purchase all these for your own studio. Of course, renting isn't perfect either. We have availability issues. Imagine you get an impromptu quick gig and there's no photo studio available for rent at that particular time. Yes. Sometimes you might even struggle getting a suitable date to book. Next is inconsistent environments. If you rent different photo studios all the time, you will tend to always feel new in that space. You can't always control the setup, and every studio feels different. Personally, it happens to me sometimes. I enter certain studios and I feel lost because I'm used to the setup in my space. I can use just a few minutes to put up a setup in my space because I'm used to everything around me. Imagine having to rent a studio all the time where you feel new. Even though, yes, you know what you need and all that, it's not your space. There were times we had to do some commercial photo shoots at certain rented spaces. And oh my, some of the equipment were broken, we weren't told. So you want to raise up this stand and you realize that you can't lock it. So you have to improvise. You want to use this softbox, you realize, there is no grid or that kind of thing. So these are some of the disadvantages of renting a studio. The next thing is costs add up over time. If you're getting gigs frequently and end up renting frequently, those hour rates can surpass the cost of owning a photo studio. Still on the fence? Here is how to decide. These are some factors to consider. First of all, your budget. Can you afford to rent a space and use it as your photo studio? Can you afford to gear it up? Secondly, you ask yourself, how often do you shoot? If you shoot weekly, owning might be better. If it's once in a while, rent. Your style of photography. Do you need a consistent look? Can you afford all the various backdrops you need? Or does variety matter more? Next, we look at long-term goals. Is this your full-time career or a side hustle? If it's full-time, you might want to consider having your own photo studio. So, what's the verdict? Owning and renting. Owning and renting both have their perks and challenges. Ultimately, it depends on your needs, goals, and budget. Are you team own or rent? Let me know in the comments. If you've got experience with either one of them, share your story in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this helpful, and subscribe for more tips, reviews, and tutorials. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for watching.